Yo, it's Saba. You tuned in to Hotnewhiphop on the come up. From Chicago, from the west side of Chicago. Before I was making music, I used to play a little ball. I used to draw. I thought I was going to be like a cartoonist or something. I'm trash now. I tried to draw the other day and it was just trash. But I was young, bruh. All of the young shit, bruh. PBS Kids, Nicktoons, bruh. I remember all of it, bruh. The Jackie Chan Adventures. Yeah. I used to watch that shit.
I was like, that's the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah. I definitely used to watch that. We had the game and everything. That's funny as fuck. I was playing the piano. When I was like 7 or 8 years old. I was in like piano classes. My dad was doing R&B. My uncle was doing like hip hop, but he was just doing beats. Like he was doing like the soul sample, like the sped up kind of shit. And my grandfather was doing like funk music. I first started rapping 9 years old. Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Heard his verse on a song, and it was unlike anything I had ever heard musically. Like I couldn't understand what he was saying, but the rhythms were just kind of crazy. Yeah. So I got all the Bone Thug songs, and that's how I started making music. I probably started taking it serious when I was like 15 or 16. That's when I like started trying to do like mixtapes and shit, passing mixtapes out around the school and stuff like that. The first song I made was back when I was 9. I put out a track. I forgot the name of it, but I was low-key kind of gassing. I was a way better rapper when I was 15. Yeah. I was just on some like bar shit, like way better in that sense. Like, yeah, now I'm, yeah, making songs. Yeah. When I was 15, I was eating shit. Saba, it was probably around that same time. So my name is Taj. So I used to go by, when I was like 10 years old or some shit, I used to go by Sabotage. It was kind of corny. But when I started doing my like mixtapes and shit in high school, everybody would just call me Saba, and it kind of is just one of those things that stuck, where I dropped the Taj and just became Saba. And now I don't even introduce myself to people as things that's not Saba. Like people just assume it's my name, and that's how I like it. Kanye West, Lupe Fiasco, Twista. I liked Common a lot more than I realized I liked Common. When I was a kid, like I didn't know that I liked Common. And then as I got to a point where I can like look up music myself, I was like, let me just go get all of that Common shit that I was being exposed to when I was a kid. Like, I don't know, I think I learned a lot from Common production. I don't know, man. Chicago is like, it's like a black hole of artists. Like you just go in and you just discover a million people who are all super dope. I was listening to everything, bruh. One of my favorite rappers probably ever is Spice One. Obviously Bone Thugs and Harmony. I used to fuck with Cameron, really tough. Big L, Children of the Corn. Like I went and looked all of that shit up. I don't know, man. I went through a phase where I liked everything imaginable. So to just name shit is kind of hard for me, because I feel like it's like overlooking a lot of shit that has a lot to do with why I rapped a certain way or something like that. But yeah, I listen to a lot of shit from all regions of rap, I met Chance. I met him around the city, like locally and shit, but I really met him after I did this song on Acid Rap for him. He texted me one day. I don't know where he got my number, but he texted me one day and he just asked me to get on his tape, and I'm like, what? Of course, no problem. And then that's kind of where our relationship started. So it's cool that, it's developed and we able to be in the studio together and shit like that now. But yeah, a lot of people think that I got like this crazy history where we grew up together, and like I met him after. Yeah. I mean, I had known him like because we was in the same like open mics and shit, but I didn't really know him until after we had worked together. So it was like very much so a working relationship, but it's real tight. Like, you know, now to see, you know, it's 5 years since acid rap and, you know, we still working together and shit like that. So shout out to Chance. Like, I think Bucket List is great. And I do love that album. I think it's a really great album. But I think Bucket List is Bucket List. And when I was doing Care for Me, I wanted no association with that. Like, that's the thing in the past. I already did it. So it wasn't like when I was doing Care for Me, I was like, how can I make this similar to Bucket List? Like, I was like, fuck, it's out already. You know, that was 2 years ago. I shouldn't still be even thinking about that shit, you know? I think Care for Me is the first time where I started working on an album and I didn't have, like, a concept or anything like that. I just started writing, and it was just so much shit on my mind and so much shit that I was going through that it kind of turned into the most cohesive album I made, ironically, the one that I didn't have a concept going into. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, honestly, it was like myself and the two producers of Care For Me, I did the whole thing with just two other people, Day and Daoud. And I don't know. It was probably the best process that I could say that I experienced as far as working on music. Like, it was no sending beats or anything like that. Like, we did everything ground up, like, together, built the tracks and shit from the ground. So it was just like everything kind of just fell into place. Like, if something needed to be done transitionally, like, we were there and able to just do it as opposed to waiting for somebody else to do it or having an email back and forth. It was just like we were making this shit. And I think the most important thing was to try to transfer that emotion, because I think this is a really emotional album. And for me, that was the most important part. Like, on this album, like, I didn't care about trying to super out rap everybody or like do crazy metaphors or like confuse people with words or rap hella fast or anything like that. Like, it was just transfer your emotion. Like, this is what I feel, this is what I'm going through, this is what happened, or like tell my story or whatever in whatever capacity. Money, bro. I feel like that's the point of signing. Like, everybody wants money. You need it, and you know, in this society, like, I think there are pros to being independent, but there are also cons. But, you know, does it outweigh? I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. You know, I'm still figuring it out. But I don't know. I think it's been super dope, and we've been super blessed, like, with some of, like, even the milestones and accolades that we were able to accomplish independently thus far. But yeah, everything, it's a learning process. You got to be investing. You got to be, you really have to be fully invested in yourself, really, like, because it's like you might think you're making money and then you get hit with that expense, like, yeah, right. You got to cover it yourself. There's no advance. There's nobody there that's about to guide you through. If you want to tour, you going on tour, go on tour. Yeah, that's dope. And then you look at the fucking receipts when you're done from tour. Like, did I really just spend this much? Like, damn, I thought I had this much and I just spent this much, like, just to go on tour. But it's dope. And, you know, for some people it's a fit. Like, it's like where it makes sense. And then some people it's not. But, you know, I'm sure labels have their pros. I can't speak on a lot of it because I've never experienced being on a label. I've just always been independent. So it's hard to speak on, like, the pros of certain shit because I don't know them. You know, other than I just know about, like, what people say about the shit, you know. I don't know. As far as what's next for Pivot Gang, like, we're on tour right now. And yeah, man, everybody's just gearing up new releases. Like, Joseph is about to drop something. And everybody else is just, like, really working. Like, I brought all our studio shit with us on the road, so, you know, there's definitely a lot more new shit to come. And hopefully we trying to get this Pivot project out this year. It's been a while. It's been like the last Pivot project came out 5 years ago now. So now that everybody's, you know, back together and shit, you know, we all getting our solo shit done, but I think we're going to do a group one this year. So that'll be really what's next. I'll be 28. Oh, 28 is a great year for rappers. Like, what? I'm gonna be what the fucking goat? What the fuck? What are we talking about here? 28-year-old Saba? He has so many. Come on, he has so much to talk about. He has so much. I fuck around. Hopefully, I start growing gray kind of early. I'm trying to have some gray dreadlocks. Just look like I got hella wisdom. Right, right, right.
He ain't even 30 yet.
Right, exactly. And yeah, man, I don't know. Hopefully when I'm 28, man, I'll be changing some lives and influencing people in the right way and not just to buy shit. Hashtag ad. I don't know, man. 28, man. It's a lot of 28-year-olds I know got it figured out. Even if they don't got it figured out yet, they got it figured out, And I'm excited to experience that for myself, because 23 is tight, but it's like I wake up every day and I don't know what the fuck I'm about to do, But 28-year-old Saba knows exactly what he's about to do, So there we go.